Hello and welcome to Experience Fulton, the podcast. I'm Regina Waller, Division Manager, Communications and External Affairs for Fulton County. This podcast will not only provide you with information regarding the services and products that Fulton County has to offer, but we'll give you a close-up look into the department and the people who bring you those services. Regina Waller here for Experience Fulton, the podcast. This particular episode is very near and dear to my heart, also has me very excited. Because you see, I used to be a former teacher and had an opportunity to work with youth grades 9 through 11 and even some seniors at time, and working with them on how to become leaders, how to prepare for their careers, how to prepare for that educational pathway. So I bet you didn't know that Fulton County also has some of those same types of initiatives here with us. We've all heard of community development. Community development, we hear about the programs for community services programs, also for the block grant and the home ownership program, or HOP. But we also have a youth leader-centered program, and I'm going to bring in our two guests here. We're going to start with the gentleman on the end. If you could just introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
Absolutely. I am Reginald Crossley. I am the Youth Commissioner Coordinator for the Department of Youth and Community Development, the Division of Youth and Community Services.
All right, and our gentleman in the middle.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Harvin Vallabhaneni. In my day job, I work at Google, where I do corporate strategy for Google Cloud, and I'm an alum of the program.
Well, you met Reginald and you met Harvin. Reginald is the Youth Commissioner Coordinator who works with the Youth Commission program here in Fulton County. 31 students you have coming this year. Yes. So there are 31 leaders who each represent one of the districts here in Fulton County. So let's just kick it off and tell us a little bit about the program, Reginald.
Absolutely. The Fulton County Youth Commission is designed to get our young leaders involved today. These young people help create laws, policies, and solutions to youth issues. They serve as the eyes, ears, and voice for young people. But these young people are not just participating in the program. These young people are truly active and engaged and, civically interested in the work that we're doing. Not only are they learning how to pass legislation, but they're learning all of the inner workings of our Fulton County government on the city, county, and even the state level. We have a wide range of things these young people are doing, and it's just so exciting to see this generation of young people really taking a true active role in what's happening in their community, how they can help shape government, what they can contribute to it. So it's, in a nutshell, that's what the program is entailing currently.
So for the next year, they will get an opportunity to come in and to experience that type of leadership. But you guys had an induction ceremony in February to bring those, those students in. But now you're in another phase where you are recruiting for the upcoming year. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we're currently recruiting youth commissioners who are in the 9th through the 11th grade. Unfortunately, you cannot be a first-year applicant and a senior, but you become a senior while in the program. So we're looking for young people who just are civically interested in community and government, young people who are outspoken, who want to speak up and speak out and identify solutions to issues they see within their respective communities. But we're not an academic-based program. People often assume that you have to be a scholar. We do look for young people who, of course, you got to have decent grades, but primarily you have to be willing to speak up, identify the issues, have an interest in policy, have an interest in government, community. Many of our young people have started nonprofits. Many of them are debaters, but some of them are simply, this government-minded young people who are really taking a deep dive and keeping up with what's happening every day and, don't want to sit on the sideline as observers, but really want to actually get in and help shape, the world that they'll, take on in the future.
Well, one of the young people that you helped to shape is Harvin. He's here to tell us about his experience as part of the Youth Commission. So go ahead, just jump in there and tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, it's weird to hear the person on my right, Reginald, say Reginald is his name, because I knew him as Mr. Crossley. He was a mentor for me and someone who kind of led the program while I was here. For me, I wouldn't say I was a shy kid, but I definitely never thought of myself as a prime leader when I was in high school. And I think I found out about the Youth Commission program through just a a classmate of mine, a friend of mine, who was also already in the program. So he was someone who was in the debate club, really civically minded. I've always been someone who had a lot of interest in the community, but I never saw myself kind of becoming a senator or someone going into politics. But I did have an opinion on what mattered in Fulton County. This was the place I grew up in, so I thought it was a really cool program to learn the inner workings of the city and figure out how I can make an impact. So my friend pushed me to the program, pushed me to learn more, and I was excited. I think I'm now in my 30s. I'm expecting my first kid soon, so I find myself in the position where I'm looking back on my life recently. I think maybe having a kid has that impact on people. I joined a lot of different clubs, did a lot of extracurriculars as a kid, and I look back at it. This was I think this is the single most impactful program that shaped who I am and who I became as a person. I still remember the interview. It was grueling. I was very intimidated going up and getting judged by my peers in a very, being at City Hall or the government center for the first time. It was very intimidating for me, but going through it, getting selected, just gave me a tremendous amount of self-confidence. Coming into government center on this program every week in and week out, debating issues, meeting people from all around Atlanta, helped shape my empathy for others and learn how to collaborate with others. And then also, I think it just gave me a lot of professional development skills that I wouldn't have got any other time. I was always scared of public speaking, and this program made me do that every week. So I got quite good at it. I was given coaching. I remember one week I had to come in on a Saturday for, I think, a 6-hour public speaking course. And we worked with a professional who critiqued our public speaking, gave us video feedback, relayed us, and we just had a very grueling experience. It was, for me, someone that was scared of public speaking at the time, it was incredibly scary. But I left that becoming very confident in public speaking, and it no longer became a fear. So just the Youth Commission program had so many experiences like that made me a better person and a better leader.
Now look at you on the podcast.
I know.
Tell us about the experience. And with Mr. Crossley here, how do you feel just watching him and listening to how the program impacted his life? Because I understand you work for Google now. Mm-hmm. So tell us, Mr. Crossley, how does that make you feel?
It is definitely an honor to see these young people actually understand, why we push them and the weekends and the long hours and how it applies to college and career and how now they can walk into any environment and conduct themselves professionally, carry a conversation with anyone. These are, we know for a fact, are essential skills, the foundation of young leaders. So, we help build that foundation, knowing everything built on top of that foundation will be secure. And these young people have taken it and have run off into so many different industries, Google, Facebook, Silicon Valley overall. We have young people in Capitol Hill. They've started their own practices, law, medical. They all have continued to stay in touch with the program. And that means a lot to me that, even 10, 15 years later, you still reach out just to check on me or for a letter of recommendation or, whatever the case may be. We have definitely built a family. And it's just so great to see that, the work that we've put in is, being applied in their day-to-day life.
It is impressive to me as well when Harvin mentioned that, that he's in his 30s now and preparing to start his own family, and he still is connected with not only with you, but with the program and what he learned throughout, the years and over that 1 year, and he's put into effect as he's become an adult. Do you often bring alums back so that the students that you are working with currently will get an opportunity to see the impact on those who have been there before them?
Yes, absolutely. We definitely work with many of our alums. They stay in touch with me. So oftentimes I don't even have to keep up with them. They call me, they shoot me messages online, and they all want to know what's happening, how they can contribute and help the program. Like Harvin, he reached out, he came out to speak to the young people. He invited me up to Google to see the facility, has extended that opportunity to our youth commissioners. So it's become a very tight-knit family, and it has led to employment opportunities, has led to college scholarships, has led to so many great things.
It's all about the networking.
It's all about that
here.
network, absolutely.
And when you have spoken to the students, what is the one thing that you hope they walk away with from hearing about your experience?
It was a little traumatizing because I've never felt so old in my life talking to these students. When I said the year that I graduated high school, they all just stared at me with this blank face that I will never forget, to be honest. But what I really hope, and I tried to communicate in that moment, is when you're a high school student, I remember just being unbelievably busy with academics, extracurriculars, just having so many things on my mind. I went to Alpharetta High School, so every Wednesday for Youth Commission, I had almost an hour and a half commute to come through where my mom would drop me off at MARTA, I would take MARTA, and then I would walk over here. So it was just a very grueling time, and I remember just being busy all the time, and I never could appreciate the opportunities being given to me. So what I was trying to encourage them to do is just not take the experience with the Youth Commission for granted. It's truly something that I wish every person in Fulton County could take benefit from. And when you're in the seats of the Youth Commission, I really wanted them to say, live it. You have an incredible opportunity to give your voice, lend your voice to so many of your peers and classmates that can't speak up and make your voice heard in city council and the commissioners' meetings at the Golden Dome. I really just wanted them to take it seriously because I gained so much from it. But like everything, it's how much you put into it and how seriously you take it.
So, Mr. Crossley, we're hearing all of this experience and how it has impacted your former student here. And we talk about, the recruitment process. It's not too late if someone is interested in applying to become a youth commissioner. Could you tell us a little bit about that and also how they can apply?
Absolutely. So students are required to complete a application, a 2-page essay, and a letter of recommendation from a teacher, civic leader, someone who's worked with them in the community. We also do an interview process. It is a pretty rigorous process, but again, it's not an academic-based process, but simply young people who are civically minded, just community-minded, who really want to be involved in some form of fashion in what's happening in our government, what's happening in terms of education, violence in our communities, homelessness, some of the topics and things we work on, but social progress overall, human services are the many things the program is working on. So young people who have an interest in those areas of focus, those are the young people we ask to apply. They can apply online at fultoncountyga.gov/FCYC for Fulton County Youth Commission. So the application deadline is May 22nd by 5:30 p.m. You can submit everything online. And yes, we're looking for great candidates. Please apply.
All right. Well, it has been a pleasure to chat with both of you about this important initiative that we have here in Fulton County, the Youth Commissioner. So, Harvin, thank you for joining us. Mr. Crossley, thank you for joining us. And if you are interested in any information or you want to apply, just remember, as Mr. Crossley said, www.fultoncountyga.gov, and it will take you to the community development page along with the Youth Commission page as well for more information. So thank you both for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure.